When the two meet, Takeo immediately falls head over heels. With the help of his best friend Sunakawa, our unlikely lovebird might just have a chance with Rinko. Let's fall in love.
Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our channel, Paws On Animation.
And today we're covering the RomCom anime, My Love Story.
Yes, and this hilariously sweet anime centers on Takeo Gods, a seemingly intimidating guy who's really a sweetheart, but he's never been able to fall in love. But that all changes when he meets and saves Yamato Rinko.
Miss Yamato!
But
before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and notifications for future podcasts and other pause videos.
Yes, and thank you for joining us today, subscribing, sharing our videos, and join us on our journey to reach over 2,000 subscribers this year. Thank you so much for everything. We appreciate you.
Yes.
I discovered this anime
series,
yet again on Hulu.
Yes.
And it was the same time I was searching and found other animes that we've talked to you about. I never heard of it. The thumbnail looked cute, and I said, I'll go ahead and add it. And yet again, our friend Sonia on X, this is another one of hers where this is one of her favorite ships. And when I mentioned it, you gotta watch it. And she's absolutely right. Absolutely loved it from the very first episode. I watched it by myself. And I said, Rascal, you gotta watch this. This it breaks all the tropes. It breaks all the rules for anime and shoujo and characters that fall in love. And Rascal was very doubtful when I told her about it. She's like, yeah, we'll see. And then she saw the first episode.
And yes, it's just as fun and entertaining and wholesome as you said.
Absolutely. So, for those of you not familiar with My Love Story, it's based on a romantic comedy manga written by Kazune Kawahara and illustrated by Aruko from October 2011 to 2016, all 14 volumes. So it ran through July of 2016. The anime itself has 24 episodes, so it is kind of long. We were surprised. We thought it was only going to be 12.
Right.
And originally ran from April to September of 2015. And as you know, we're watching it long after it premiered. There also was a live-action movie, and you'll be seeing the ridiculous photos later.
Yeah.
Never plan on watching that unless I want to laugh. Sorry.
Right.
And so, after watching this renewed my faith in some people being able to write about characters that are not traditional characters, that have a happy ending, and the entire 24 episodes remains wholesome the entire time.
Yes.
The absolute entire time. It's just sweet and wholesome, and the characters don't change, and you find out you thought they were good, but they're really evil.
Right.
Or they had ulterior motives, anything like that.
Yeah.
All three main characters, besides Takeo and Miss Yamato, also includes Suna, who is Takeo's best friend.
Yes.
So we were really happy this turned out to not only be great in the beginning, very entertaining through the middle, and they went through some different changes so you get to know all three characters, but ended also on a very happy, sweet note. And again, now it's another one of my favorites. I plan on watching it all over again.
Right. And what's really great about this is that its biggest strength is both in the comedy and in the characters that are involved in the romance and the comedy. Because it started like with Toradora, where it's the same type of slice of life rom-com, and there's nothing really surreal and well, I'm sorry, the only surreal thing is maybe Takeo's strength and stuff, and they talk about him, how huge he is, or his strength is inhuman. That's about it.
Yes.
But there's no big supernatural thing or topsy-turvy thing they do with it. It's just very fun, very wholesome, and the strength is the writing of the characters.
Absolutely.
As Mama said, it's like watching Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun, where it's a really fun comedy, and they flip the script on the tropes you usually see and do something different, and it makes it enjoyable because you didn't have to deal with all of the garbage you usually see when you have like the love triangles and the rivals and the like you said, turns out someone's bad or someone gets taken out. None of that stuff's really in here.
There were a couple rivals, but
They weren't long term.
Right. So how it starts off is we meet Takeo and Suna. They've been best friends since childhood. And they are total opposites. It's like watching twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
One's tall, the other's... He's not short, but he's much shorter than him in comparison because he's a really big guy.
Right.
You meet his parents and you find out where he gets his looks from.
Yes.
And the first episode, he ends up seeing a guy trying to grope a girl who was Miss Yamato, his name calls her. And he stands up for her and defends her against the groper. Well, he falls in love with her immediately. And in his experience, anytime he's been around girls, they fall for Suna. Now, Suna, again, is his best friend. His name is Sunakawa, is his last name. Makoto Sunakawa. And he's a pretty boy anime character. But the thing about him, he just has the deadpan face the majority of the time. The only person who seems to make him laugh is Takeo.
Yes.
And girls are hitting on him all the time, revealing their love for him, they like for him. He turns them all down. No, he isn't gay. You find out more through the anime why he's like this.
Yes.
When Miss Yamato says, well, I'd like to meet you the next day, and she brings him baked goods she's cooked, he assumes because in every other experience they've been wanting Suna, not him, that she's just being nice to him so she can get to Suna. He's like, I'm in love with her, but Suna's my friend and I'll support them. Oh, she likes Suna, so I'll help support them. And Suna, who's very, very perceptive, figures out that she has fallen for Takeo.
Right.
Takeo doesn't figure it out. And she keeps bringing baked goods every day. And making all these goods. And he's like, oh, well, why don't you exchange phone numbers? Why don't you change information? Why don't you exchange email? Why don't you do this? And Suna's like, I don't think she's here for me. Oh, sure, she's here for you. She has to be. She can't be here for me.
Right.
So then he sets up an elaborate plot for him to hear from her mouth that she's in love with him.
Multiple times, because like I said, he's just not getting it. So she finally tells Suna that she's in love with Takeo.
But he invites her over.
Yeah, and he hides under the bed. I don't know how. I don't know how, but he did. And he gets to hear her say that she loves him. He's like, okay, you can come out now. And then he's like off this, like from the grave or something under the bed. Like, how'd you fit under there?
And it was so refreshing because it didn't take the whole anime. By the third episode, they're dating, and we were so happy. And we thought from there it was going to go downhill, but it didn't. Now, we failed to mention that for Takeo, what makes him stand out, I think he looks like he's almost, he's 6'6", they say it. He's 6'6". He's very big. He's muscled. He looks like an older guy because of how tall he is, and he's got facial hair and sideburns. And most people think he's an adult, so older women flirt with him or try to pick him up because they think he's a grown man. And then those that are younger, for whatever reason, they're afraid of him, and you don't know why. They say it's because of how he looks. Some characters say he looks like a gorilla, but it's not true. You look at him. He's a very handsome guy, but he's not, as Rascal said, the type that's usually the type of guys that are liked in anime. He has more of, I guess, as you said, a way that people in other countries like America would like.
He would really be popular here because of physique, personality, everything.
But he's only 16. He and Suna are only 16.
Right. And Suna looks like the traditional pretty boy anime characters they usually have, and they all fall for him. Yeah, they're just terrified of Takeo, and if they're not, a lot of them talk about him behind his back and say he's hideous.
The girls.
Oh, sorry, only the girls. Yes, the guys
love him.
That's actually true. Yes, the guys, and they're all actually his friends, and he's a good guy. They cheer for him. They're always there for him. And every guy friend he has is really his friend. Yes. None of them ever take advantage or ever let anyone say any crap about him in front of him.
True.
So I do like that. He has a ton of friends. He is not friendless.
And the two things I really love about it, well, three I should say. One is Miss Yamato, we're going to call her Rinko, really is in love with him. And she says, oh, he's so handsome and big and strong. And they're staring at her because they're not seeing what she sees, and then something happens and they see him in a better light. But she really does love him, and he really does love her, and I love that. Number 2, Suna really is his friend. He's not using him. There's no ulterior motive. He and Suna really are friends, and they love each other as friends, and different things happen throughout the anime where they're there for each other. And you absolutely love it because you always see backstabbing and betrayal the majority of time, and in here it never happens, and you're happy. And 3 is they both have families. They both have their mom and their dads alive. Yes. And you get to see Takeo's mom and dad and his little sister that's born. You never see Suna's dad. You know he's in the hospital, but you see his mom and his older sister. Yeah. And I loved all of that. Because it's different from not only anime, from all the Western shows. It just is one of those anime that if you want something that's feel good, does have drama, does have mystery, suspense. You've got some girls that suddenly are falling for Takeo. And he can't even believe that's happening. And Miss Yamato is freaking out because she doesn't want to take him from her. And then by the end, you've got a jerk that falls for her and tells him, she's mine, I'm going to make her mine, and he's voiced by David Matranga. And it's like... and it's just bold! Yes. It's just full of surprises and turns and suspense and wonderful moments, and you see their love growing. And one part that's our favorite, every single episode he ends up saying, I love her. And it's in his mind. And so the audience always hears it. I love her so much. She's so cute. Yes. And you can't help but laugh every time he does it. And she's adorable, and he's adorable, and they're cute. And she's so cute, and he's so cute. They're both so cute, and I love it. Yes, and there's no crap behind it. No. And then one last thing we want to mention is how there's a girl that shows up who just decided she's going to get Suna. Yeah, like near the end. In love with him for 10 years, and she's the opposite of how the girls who normally look at him look. But that's not the problem. She's out of her freaking mind. Crazy. And all I kept saying is, please don't end up with her. Oh, man. Please don't end up with her. Yeah. And so finally, Takeo thinks, he's like, I want Suna to fall in love too. So he tries to help this girl with her. Well, Suna doesn't end up liking her, but he's very nice about it. And he tells her, I'm sorry. Yeah. She's been giving him chocolates for 10 years on White Day or Valentine's Day. Yeah, Valentine's Day. And he gave her something back. And... sorry, go ahead. And the worst part about her being here is she's the only part that kind of didn't fit about the series. Yeah, it was like near the end. Right, and it was like they wanted to show, I guess, here, look, this love story worked out, but this didn't. If they had made it work, it would not have been genuine. Because you could tell the way it was written that this girl has issues. And she shouldn't end up with anybody. Right. Because she kept saying, I just want him to fall in love with me. I don't want anything else in return. That is something else in return. And then she kept saying, I want him to fall in love with me. And you never heard her say, what I'll do for him or how I'll prove I love him. I just want him to fall in love with me. And I want to be with him forever. And he's so gorgeous and blah, blah, blah. But you could hear and tell it wasn't a genuine love like Miss Yamato's or Takeo's. Yeah, and the most that came out of that was at the end when she slowly decided to leave him alone. Now, she still was crazy about him, but she didn't keep going after him and stalking him. She said, thank you. I think finally time for me to let go. And she was attempting to slowly move on. That was like the only thing you got there. And she finally left him alone and was grateful that he at least was kind to her and gave her the time of day, and that was about the best that came out of it. That was it. Yeah. So we don't reveal everything because we're telling you so much, but this is one of those anime that I would recommend to anyone and everyone. Yeah, it is fantastic. I'm so grateful that I found it. I'm so happy I can watch it all over again, and it is on Crunchyroll, but it's subtitled. Yeah, unfortunately. But on Hulu is dubbed, and that's the best way to watch. Yes. So quickly, we got to go over the cast. We almost forgot. Takeo Gods is voiced by Andrew Love and Lucy Christian as a boy, and those are some of the most fun moments when you see them as kids. And Rinko Yamato is voiced by Tia Ballard. Suna, I'm just gonna call him, is voiced by Austin Tyndale.
Oh my gosh.
And Bryson Bagus as a kid. Check it out if you haven't seen it. But if you have seen My Love Story, tell us what you think in the comments below. Did you see it when it originally aired? Did you find it like we did? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was meh? Tell us what you think. If you haven't seen it, you gotta watch it.
Yes.
We absolutely positively recommend you put this on your list and watch it this month. This is the perfect time to watch it. 24 episodes. You can binge it if you like. You can watch it subbed if you prefer to hear the Japanese on Crunchyroll or dubbed on Hulu. Excuse me. Come back. Tell us what you think.
Yes. And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates and weekly videos for anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for joining us. We hope you're having a wonderful month. You are our Valentine.
Yes.
And as always,
you are special. Thank you so much for watching Mask Entertainment.
And Mom Entertainment.
Have a toontastic day.
Peace.